As panic and uncertainty over the coronavirus pandemic spreads across the world, places of worship have been forced to close their doors in order to protect their congregations. And while those precautions are protecting worshipers' physical health, it's their mental health that's also right now at stake. Rabbi Joshua Stanton presides over the East End Temple in Manhattan. Rabbi, thank you so much for joining. It's a difficult time for you, for your congregants. How are you able to help members of your synagogue keep up with the faith during this era, for example, of social distancing when they shouldn't be crowding a synagogue, for example?
Well, we are fighting two pandemics. The first is the actual physical pandemic, and the second is the pandemic of isolation. People, in order to stay physically safe, are by themselves more than they ever have been, especially in a city like New York, where people love to spend time together. Our community has moved all of its operations entirely online. Religious School connects now virtually via Zoom conference. We have ongoing conversations, guest speakers, lectures every single day online. We want to make sure that we are connecting with people as much as possible. Our Cantor Shira Ginsburg held Shabbat services this past Friday night online, and we are reaching out to every single community member by phone to make sure that they know they're not alone and that we're here for them.
Well, these are really challenging moments, I'm sure, for your congregants, for people in New York City, around the country as well. What are you doing? I feel so horrible. Let's say you have to postpone or cancel or do online a wedding, a bar mitzvah. How are you dealing with that?
Last weekend, we did a bar mitzvah almost entirely online. And this past week, we actually did what's called a Shiva Minyan, a gathering for mourners virtually online, so that they could recite sacred words of blessing. The underlying principle, especially with mourners, is that one's loved one should ever be a blessing in their lives. And that doesn't necessarily mean convening in person. In fact, it's about sharing stories, and that's something we can do remotely. So we're trying to move everything we do online so that we are actually more connected than ever before, even in the face of the social distancing that is taking place in physical terms.
So what's your basic message right now to your congregants, especially as we approach Passover?
We are here for you through thick and thin. The story of Passover is the one of society somehow managing to overcome plagues and difficulties. Our community is trying to have the world's largest online Seder. It's going to be an interfaith Seder, so you don't need to be Jewish to take part. You don't need to be a member of our community. We want to be there for you. Let us know how we can be there for you. We want to teach, learn, connect, and share our love however possible.
Rabbi Stanton, thanks so much for what you're doing. I'm sure your congregants are grateful. These are really, really difficult times right now. Thanks so much. And if I don't see you before Passover, have a happy, happy Passover. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Millions of Americans are